Hey friends, this is Question Current speaking, and today I wanted to show you the minimum required hardware for a USB-C device to be A. Powered by a USB-C host and B. Recognized as a USB data transmission device. For this, I brought this USB-C cable, which I'm going to connect to my computer on the one end and to this USB-C breakout board on the other hand. But before that, we're going to take a look at the breakout board itself. This board features a female and a male connector on either end, and although I'm not sure which one is the female and which one is the male because the terminology is kind of confusing, it still breaks out all 24 internal USB-C pins to these pin headers, and the manufacturer even labeled them, although not completely correct, so be aware of that. And we are now using my multimeter to measure what kind of voltage that my computer is actually supplying by connecting the ground and VBus, VCC or power pin to my multimeter and plugging in the USB cable. And what we can see is that my multimeter is displaying 34.5 millivolts. This is due to the fact that my computer is not actually powering this USB cable, and it's not powering the connector either. So this is due to the fact that the USB standard defines that no power shall be applied without some kind of agreement on the voltage that should be applied. And the easiest way to achieve this is with a 5.1 kilo ohm resistor. This 5100 ohm resistor, and it's an 805 package, I've soldered to the end of these cables, and don't charge me, but it's the minimum viable working alternative. And I'm now going to connect this resistor between ground and either CC1 or CC2 of the cable, depending on the orientation of this connector. And you can see that once I've applied this, or I've connected this resistor, my computer applied the 5 or 5.12 volts to the VBus and ground connections. This means that the device or this breakout board now advertises itself as some kind of device that only needs power for charging, like my headphones, for example. And if we want to advertise this breakout board as not only for charging but also for data transmission, we need a second resistor. This 4.1 kilo ohm resistor I am going to connect between VBus and the D- or D+ connector of my breakout board. And depending again on the orientation of the connector, my computer will now tell me that it did not recognize the USB device that I've connected. This is due to the fact that the device descriptor request failed, and obviously those are just two resistors, so they cannot actually answer to a descriptor request, and the computer is sending this request either to the D+, D- on this or on this end of the connector and not receiving any response. But in any way, it will let us know that it now recognized the device being connected as a USB transmission device that actually wants to transmit data, but it could not actually talk to it. And if you have any questions, just let me know or put them in the comments below.